Hello, my earthling peeps out there. I am finally doing another video message. Sorry it's taken me a little while, but life happens, been busy, and I'm finally back and able to deliver another message that I got from channeling. This is a very interesting, while it's a simple message, it's very interesting of who I channeled. Um, who I channeled, they are, now if I butcher the way it's pronounced, I apologize. The Zeta's Reticulans. Now, people might be like, oh my gosh, no, they're dark. As I said before, we, in every race, not just humans, but even among ETs, you have good and bad in all of them, okay? And when I did this channeling, it was through protection. I always make sure I protect before I channel, surrounding myself in the white light through the All Divine, Creator before I even start to channel. And I also make it known that I will only communicate with those for the best and highest good, for the betterment of humanity. And I feel like the message, I mean, if it was anything that was dark and negative, they wouldn't be putting out a message that would be, in this case, we're going to talk about technology. So I'm going to mention a little bit about that and also about the reveal process coming, okay? So the message that I got was from two beings, and their names are going to sound a little weird, but I asked them to give me the names that are pronounceable. They don't necessarily have to be names that are heard of on Earth, but, you know, just so they're pronounced, you know, can be pronounced without too much trouble. Now, this may not necessarily mean that this is their exact name, but this is the names they like. Okay, it was from a couple of the Zeta Reticulans. Okay, and I don't know, when we say couple, does that necessarily, you know, they don't exactly like maybe do the whole romantic love in the human way or anything like that, but you know, they go with what works together, I guess, or however you want to put it. Okay, so their names are, the first name I got was a female with the name Creona, and the male's name is Oktar. So Creona and Oktar, and it's a very simple message, but I got the sense of it just being very important. I know you guys have heard this many times about the problems with humans and the technology and that, and the way they gave me the message was as if they were humans communicating to other humans. Okay, so they don't I'm not exactly sure why they did it like that, but it's okay, you know, this is, I'm just going to go with it. And so they put themselves as if they were humans communicating to other humans. Okay, so here's the message. And they kind of repeated themselves with the way they worded it, but I guess that's just for, you know, they, like I said, they just really want to drill it into our heads, right? Okay, so the message is, the more we rely on technology to connect with other humans, the more disconnected we become with each other. Okay, the more we lose hold on reality is due to because we converse with our people through the technical platform, and the more removed we become from identifying the humanity within ourselves and others. So that was their message. It's simple, you know, and maybe the lines kind of repeat themselves, but for some reason that's what I was told to give. And so it's just pretty straightforward. I think we all can agree that when we become so locked on communicating more through technology and less in-person communication, what happens is we start to, is the word dehumanize? We become to where even people that we might know in real and that it starts to become more like we forget we're dealing with other humans. Um, I mean, when I say humans that we know in real, I mean people that maybe we know but aren't like they're more like what do you call it? People that we've met a time or two, but don't have that close contact with, say, somebody who is our best bud or something that we've known for years, right? So, but the problem is that when with what I'm getting, or what I was getting when I was channeling, is that the more advanced the technology, the more on edge everybody is becoming, and there's a lot of gaslighting, as we know, online, and that whether it involves politics, whether it involves um, everything from vaccines to uh, you know um, animals, and how one person's taking care of it versus another person's way of taking care of it, and all of a sudden somebody is mad at this other person saying, no, you weren't supposed to feed that to him, and what are you doing, and will say something horrible to that other person. So everybody's like, there's this whole gaslighting, there's this anger and feud, and what I was getting is that there's so much aggression going on, that this is part of the problem. People at the same time are really, really wanting to open up and be connected to our star family out there, our star people, brothers and sisters. But the star people are vibrating at such a higher frequency than we are, that they're like, it's just at what's going on, and that it makes it an environment that they cannot resonate with. So in order, if you really, really want to have that contact in that, you're going to have to look within yourself. What are you watching online and that's getting you? And trust me, I'm guilty for it. I'll watch things that will trigger me, right? And when you do that, then you're starting to and you're feeding into it. Now, I'm not saying that it means that you shouldn't watch videos that can maybe be informative or trying to keep up on things. But if you're finding that it's starting to put you into this spiraling effect of where you're starting to have these really negative thoughts, you see somebody comment something and you're so angry, and then you want to match their anger, and that's where we start spiraling down and getting disconnected from the all divine and the higher frequency. And the higher frequency beings are going to be less connected to us and less communicating with us when we are in that darker, lower frequency. Okay, so that the only thing that is going to try to interfere or come through, and then this is where the whole fear thing comes through, and that is because if you're in that mind frame, and that you're inviting the darker, lower vibration beings, dark ETs or whatever, to come through. Okay, and as I keep stating over and over again, a lot of people feel like, if whether it's Pleiadians or Octurians and that they're all benevolent, and then anything that doesn't look human is automatically dark and lower, and that's not the case. Like I keep saying this over and over again, because I want people to understand that just like with humans, you have good and bad in all races, in all races. Okay, dark and light both exist. Okay, one does not exist without the other. So you're going to understand that there's going to be people or beings in that are going to not always, just because they look like, they might look angelic and beautiful and everything else, doesn't necessarily mean that they have an angelic heart or an angelic consciousness, right? When I say angelic, I shouldn't, because we have all different kinds of beings, but you know what I mean. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are for your good. Okay, that's where really why we're being told we have to pay attention to our intuitive. What are we really feeling from these beings. And there are a lot, I admit, when you get to reptilians, what you call it? It's like my friend Aurora said. The thing is that the reason why you might find a lot more of these darker ones that are here is because we have such a low vibration going on Earth, that the ones that are, you know, plain as day and stuff out here and that are the dark and scary, because they resonate with the dark, okay? But there is just as many good ones out there, but they can't be on this existence where we are, because it's so dark and lower. So that is where we have to you know, find our empathy, come from a place of love, refrain from that anger mode that we tend to get into, especially when we've been online, which is why this whole thing about technology and that goes in, and find that place within us where we can embrace love. We can realize that we are going to not agree with our other human brothers and sisters and that, and that's where we have to agree to disagree. I hear it, the words always being stated, agree to disagree, but how many of us actually do that? Not many. Most people, you know, get on this I've got to be right and you're wrong kind of mode, and when you do that, you are then taking your frequency down, and you are engaging in negative vibration. Therefore, you're not going to, then when you feel, you know, say another day and you just want to connect and communicate and everything else, but maybe not another day, but say later that day, you're like, oh, well, I want to, you know, I want so bad to connect with these higher vibrations and that, but I'm not getting anything. Well, you're not getting anything because just a little earlier you were, you know, firing off at someone because you didn't like something that they said, and you matched their anger. Now, I'm not saying that that means that what they said was right or true in that, but when we match their anger, we then ourselves are bringing down our vibration, which makes it harder for us to be able to connect with the all divine and these beings, you know, the good beings. So I am guilty of it myself, okay? I'm not putting myself on some kind of pedestal here, you know? I'm also guilty of it. But I really felt like with the message that I was being given here by Creona and Oktar, that this is exactly what they're trying to have people understand, okay? The other thing that I wanted to bring up is, if you notice, a lot of times my messages, there are so many people delivering messages from like the Pleiadians and the Arcturian, and those are wonderful, and those are important messages. It's like Aurora said, I guess because I've always experienced so many things from my childhood and that, of dealing with non-human entities and that I've gotten used to seeing non-human looking entities, that it doesn't freak me out, it doesn't frighten me like it would for most people. So most people, you will find, will make connections with the human-looking star people and that, and not really so much going into the non-human-looking. And I was told, gosh, by Aurora, told by others who picked up the same thing, and I'm honored. I have to say I'm honored, but I do not by any means think that I think that makes, I don't see myself as, oh, you know, I'm this and that and the other. I'm not. But I was told that from Aurora and others that I'm considered like a bridge for the soft disclosure reveal. And so that's my next topic I'm bringing up here, is a soft disclosure reveal. And I'm happy to do it. I went through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and that growing up with different things. And I agreed to some of that in my contract. And I think that more people will probably be coming along that also are along the lines where they were dealing more with non-human looking entities and that, because they are also supposed to be act as a bridge. Okay, so please know, I am by no means stating anything as if I have something so unique and so different. Okay, I don't feel that way at all. Everybody, and trust me, I mean, I don't have a gazillion followers or nothing like that. We are all part of the same process. Everybody, and that's the thing everybody needs to understand. Nobody, just because they're, say you have these high ups, we know the famous Stephen Greer and everything. Does that make him more important than you? Absolutely not. We are all on the same level. We are all on the same level. Some people might have been put to be in a position to be, the main mouthpiece for, like, some of the bigger mouthpieces, I should say. So these guys that say are up, who are really trying to get the message out there with ETs and stuff like that, have, millions of people around the world know who they are and that, all right? But that doesn't make them better, okay? That doesn't make them better than any of us. We are all on the same level, because it's, as I was being told, it's like a car or even a human body, okay? A human body, if you don't have all the parts working, what happens? The body becomes sick and it dies. Same thing with a vehicle. So all the parts have to be working. So each part is just as important as the other. But anyways, I felt guided that to give a message about the soft disclosure, the soft reveal, because I think at first there were a lot of us, like myself, and we thought it was just going to be this, not everybody, but I admit that I kind of thought it was going to come where we were just going to, like, the ships were just going to really start appearing in the sky for everybody, and that not necessarily like, and of course theirs was negative, but the whole Independence Day thing, but like, yes, we are having more sightings and that, but it's actually going to be, and it's also to, I guess, so people won't be so frightened. So if you notice that you're starting to have dreams about, something to do with ETs or on other planets and that, this is all part of that soft disclosure, that soft reveal and that. And more people are going to be having experiences with the Pleiadians and that, because they do realize that the non-humanoid looking beings and that might be frightening for people, that because it's something that they're not have not become accustomed to. They've only seen it in movies and that, and unfortunately in movies and that, they're always portrayed as the bad guys, and they're not. Even the quadaloids, I have had interaction with the good quadaloids. Now the quadaloids revealed in the Independence Day movie and that are all these negative, and they hate humans and they want to destroy them. Yes, you have those type, but that doesn't mean they're all that way. I had some very benevolent ones that I encountered through my channeling and that. So I'm here to kind of help with the reveal of the non-human looking star brothers and sisters that we have out there, because we have all kinds of them. Okay, so anyways, that's my message for today. I hope you guys have a beautiful, amazing day, and sending love to all of you. Have a beautiful, amazing day, amazing week, amazing year. Okay, all right, take care. Bye guys, love you.